Okay, things seem to be working. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if it's like the last time I made a video or 2 times ago. I was having significant trouble, not with this one. Not with this one. It was the old Starks project. Make a new window. Full screen. Yes. And this one. So yeah, this one. Restart file. Of course, I'm going to have to do that again. But what is yeah? So what's going on? So basically, in the most recent iteration of the Lean Fro meeting on monthly community meeting or whatever, Leo mentioned that Sebastian had produced, well, basically this Zulip post was referenced, and what this Zulip post says is that there is this PR, which is for incremental elaboration of definition headers and body syntactics, whatever. So, I mean, to see more clearly, the point, I think, is that if you have some theorem, and now it will be the case that if you change something in the middle of the theorem, so previously it was the case that when you change something in a theorem, the entire, when you change something in a tactic mode, the entire tactic mode has to recompile in order for things to move forward. But I think the point here is that if we look carefully at the yellow orange bar, if we made a small change, it's actually possible now for only part of that to recompile. Incremental reporting. Let me just make sure that I feel like that is actually what is supposed to be happening here. Incremental reporting and reuse between commands, various steps inside declarations. For each contained tactic step, including recursively inside, supported combinator is currently consisting of c.case next induction cases. Yeah, so my interpretation of this is that it should be the case that this massive theorem, okay, apparently it's rebuilding all of MathLab. I don't want that to happen necessarily. Let's try fetching the MathLab build cache. So as you can probably see, there are all of these commented out done statements littered throughout the code that I've written here, which is very bad. But the reason that those exist, yes, artifact successfully. The only problem, another thing that Leo mentioned in the YouTube video recording that I saw of the Fro meeting was he was very proud of this little restart file button, but it's always you can't click on it because there's always this is where the pop-ups come up, and so you can't actually click on it. Yeah, so that was that's just sort of funny. Imports are out of date, but if I click the button, they should restart now. Why is it doing that? Why is it building MathLab? I literally just got the cache. Warning. Okay, no. Now it's good. It realizes that MathLab is here. Okay, so it's successfully compiling. Anyway, there's all these little done statements because what I had to do, the problem with this code, yes, this code, the product of years of research on my part, takes years to compile as well as years of time to write. So in order to not literally years, but it does take, several minutes to several hours to compile. And the upshot of that is to whenever I need to modify the code, it causes me several problems. One is that whenever I am modifying the code, you know, if it's a latter part of the code, I have to wait a long time for it to recompile, and it like totally totally screws up my sort of flow. Like it's basically it's so hard to like imagine coding, but anytime you like imagine coding, but every time you like try to compile something, it takes you like every time you make a single like one line change to the code, it takes you like another sort of 3 minutes to recompile everything. I don't understand how people work like that. I guess there are some like old languages where that was a problem, but it seems like a total nightmare to me. Anyway, so it's like, as you can see, this is taking forever to build, and there's all these little done statements that I include. So I uncomment this done statement so that what will happen is it will like proceed to this point and then like experience an error. So I forcefully make it experience an error just so that I can like actually see what is going on. But my hope is that if I follow all the instructions here, I can get this working and make it so that what will happen is that it will sort of proceed step by step through parts of the thing, and maybe I can sort of partially see what's going on. Or at the very least, it won't like take so long to recompile the whole thing if I make a small change. Yeah, we'll see exactly what it's capable of if we can successfully get it working. Okay, first thing that I observe is that this has a 2 in it. I don't know why these random file names with a 2 in them pop up. Delete file. Okay, we can sort of undo this so that we have a clean working tree. But the point is that call for testing. So they want us to test this out. And I want to test it out as well. So let's read what we're being told to do. As announced in the community meeting today, this pull request is nearing merge and inclusion. Preliminary testing to smooth out the landing would be appreciated. Please read the PR description to understand what should and should not yet work at this point. Right. Incremental, right, let me read carefully. So, headers and bodies of each mutual definition theorem. Headers and bodies, okay, sure. Theorem equals by for each contained tactic step. Yeah, so it works within tactic mode, including recursively inside supported combinators, like the C dot combinator, right? Technically, the C dot that focuses you on a single subgoal is a combinator. Case, next, induction, and some macros. Yes, so I think it was sort of recompile all of that. I don't think that I have any sort of fancy combinators. Like, I might have some fancy combinators, but I'm okay with not any like major fancy combinators. Incremental reuse means not recomputing any such steps if they are not affected by a document change. Incremental reporting includes the parts seen in the recording above, the progress bar and messages. So I think what this is telling me is that I will be able, like, even if the rest of the theorem hasn't finished compiling, I will be able to step around in the first part of the theorem. Not yet supported incrementally. Hover. Other language features such as hover are not yet supported incrementally. Okay, yeah. So what it's telling me is that like I cannot hover over some tactic lemma or some lemma name and like see the reference, but that's totally fine. I'm fine with that. Other language such as hover or not. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Yes. So instructions. Please read the PR description to understand what should and should not yet work at this point. Done. The testing toolchain is compatible with Lean 480 RC1, so you should be able to use it as your Lean toolchain in any project on that version without further changes to your code. Okay, so, right, of course, the toolchain is the thing that messed me up last time because I was trying to update MATLAB and it wasn't working, and the problem was that I hadn't got the right toolchain. 480RC1. Okay, that is what I have. So you should be able to, so I think what I'm being told is that if I take this and so lean prover, lean 4 colon, and I just do that. I think what I'm being told is that that should work. You should be able to use it as your lean toolchain in any project that on that version without further changes to your code. For MATLAB in particular, there is a branch based on Tuesday's master that builds and comes with a cache. So you could, e.g., transfer or start some work there and then cherry pick back onto master. Okay, but so my project depends on MATLAB. Okay, what happens if I save this? Lean version changed. Restart lean. And if I go back here, so it's definitely, yeah. I feel like so it's starting lean language client. I feel like I haven't updated yet. Lean server printed an error. Watchdog error. Got shutdown request. Expected an exit notification. What happens if I now try and restart the file? Fetching proof widgets. The thing is, I feel like I'm about to have to rebuild all of MATLAB. So the thing I wonder is, like, is it supposed to be the case that I should go and make should I make my project depend on this branch of MATLAB, maybe? For MATLAB in particular, there is a branch, Incrementality fixes toolchain, based on Tuesday's master that builds and comes with a cache. So you could, for example, transfer or start some work there and then cherry pick it back onto master. Right. Well, and cherry pick it back onto MATLAB. I'm not modifying MATLAB, but I want access to the build MATLAB. Build MATLAB. What to test? Obviously, any regression behavior is noteworthy. Other than that, the goal is that writing tactic proofs should be more efficient. If you feel lean jumps back up after a change more than you think it should, that is also valuable information. More combinators such as tactic have will likely be added to the supported list in lean 3940 later, but the more tactic combinators have. I don't think I have any big have statements. Like maybe a few, but that's fine. More tactic combinators such as have will be added later, but the immediate goal is to support the combinators that people spend 90% of the time in. A more general solution that supports all combinators out of the box may appear at some later date. And he's also on vacation. Happy vacation, Sebastian. Okay. For MATLAB in particular, there is a branch. Is it? Okay, what's going on? Did something fail? Error. Okay, so it was building MATLAB and it experienced an error. So let me see if I can find this MATLAB branch, because I feel like if I can get, like, in principle, my project depends only directly, it depends on MATLAB. So if I can have a working MATLAB with the same toolchain that I want to work with, it should be fine. Let me see if I can find this branch. Copy. So if I go to MATLAB, I find the branch, this one. Okay, so now I am here in this branch. If I take a look at the toolchain, I see that this is in fact the toolchain. Yes. So all that I have to do, I think, okay. There's something is it require MATLAB from Git. there's some way. There's some syntax where I can specify specifically what branch I want here. Is there like an example of that syntax here? At, yes, require mathlib from Git, name of the HTTPS URL where I find the Git repository. From Git at, and then quoted name of branch. At quoted name of branch. Save. Configuration file changed. Restart lane. Now, in principle, the manifest should change as well. Always a little confusing, right? So mathlib 4, 893E. That's not what I'm looking at here. 893E. I suspect, okay, if I just go back here, what's going on? Out of date, restart file. Manifest out of date. It said something about the manifest being out of date for a moment. Warning, manifest out of date. Git revision of dependency mathlib change. Yes. Use lake update mathlib to update it. Okay, we'll do that. Lake update mathlib. Okay, got to compile lake update first, and that's cool. Right, like hopefully now that I've like the tool chain is correct. My tool chain is correct, and so I should not have the same issues that I had before. And now it looks like it's actually even downloading a whole bunch of oleans as well. Or maybe it's down. I don't know what that means. Attempting to download 4458 files. Okay. Yes. Updating repository, running post update hooks. Cool. Seems like everything went well. If I now run like xc cache get, no files to download, everything is copacetic. Okay, cool. So now I'm simply going to try and restart the file. My toolchain has changed. My lake file has changed. My manifest has changed. I have a whole new version of mathlib, and I'm compiling things. Look at that. Okay, so obviously I have a little done here, but that's totally fine. So it definitely skips through. So it does this. I watch the little orange line go down. Now if I uncomment, if I like make a little space here, it feels like it goes back. I don't quite get, right? So if I make a space, why does the orange line go to above where the space is? That doesn't quite make sense to me. My anticipation was that the orange line would just go to where the space is. So that seems wrong. So I will tell them so. Yeah, so this is, so I definitely like am on this new tool chain. It definitely, you know, so it just sort of proceeds through everything. What happens if I make a space here? Yeah, see, it skips all the way back up to the beginning. Does it skip to like here? Sorry, like if I add like a little space, it feels like it recompiles the whole thing. It's also not the case that my info view is like updating very quickly. Perhaps that's more an issue with the info view containing like too much. Why do I have a little restart file button here? Does the restart file button just never go away? It's, again, it's very annoying that it's very annoying that like all of the like when I restart the file, like I restart the file and none of the stuff in the info view goes away. I restart the file. When I restart the file, that means that like you know, things have changed. None of this might be the same. I don't want to like continue to see this necessarily. So, I mean, it's obviously incrementally evaluating things because, you know, things are popping up one, like the yellow bar goes down one tactic at a time. It's just annoying that it doesn't, it goes way up above that. Can I like test it out? Just a sec. There's a like a little sleep. There's some demonstration of like sleep 200, right? So example true by sleep 200 sleep 200. Yeah, so it is the case here, right? Like if I make a change here, I feel like the orange bar will go to like the middle of the tactic mode, right? Yeah, so for example, it seems like it's totally working here. Is it because there's a suffices? It's because there's a suffices statement in the middle. Okay, what happens if I, so obviously we need to like still be commenting things out so that I can actually observe things. Yes. Suffices. The variant, the main, suffices from E, replaces the main goal. Like, is this a quote unquote tactic combinator in the sense that, like, because this is present, it's going to screw everything up? Sorry, if I like make a space here, yeah, it comes back to the suffices. Yeah, it comes back to the suffices. It doesn't come back to above the suffices, like here or here. I mean, it's actually interesting that like even if it doesn't like change anything. I guess the point is that everything here is just like way too fast for anything to take too long to compute. What happens if I sleep 2000? I cannot spell the word sleep correctly apparently. So it hangs out there and then it goes through the suffices. But if I make a change here, no, it goes back to the sleep. I don't get that at all. Sorry, what have I actually changed here? I don't know. What have I changed? Oh, I Okay, so no, the theory about it being suffices is wrong. Because it goes back to the sleep. Let me read more carefully. Extends Ling's incremental reporting. And reuse between commands into various steps inside declarations. Headers and bodies of each mutual theorem by for each contained tactic step, including recursively inside supported combinators currently consisting of. Okay, let me see if I can maybe find a link to a point in the stream video where the problem was manifesting itself. Where was it where he talked about have? Other combinators such as tactic have will likely be added in the supported list. Is it supposed? I mean, like, the thing is, it partially works, right? I definitely, like, as I like commented out, I like see the little orange thing stepping gradually through this whole mode. So I feel like it is supposed to be the case that this works. Let me see if I can. Here, I need to like put on headphones so that there's not like. It's fine. If I go here, I unmute this.
If I go here, I can specify specifically the manifest being out of date for a moment. Warning, manifest out of date. Get revision, dependency math lab change. Yes. Use lake update math.
So I got this working.
If I uncomment, if I like manifest this change.
So so this is where I was.
And I'm compiling things. Okay, so obviously I haven't clicked a little done here, but that's totally fine.
So I got it working and it was stepping through. This is where I get it working. Okay, can I produce like a link to this? I don't know if I can necessarily produce a link to it until maybe I have to end the stream first. Okay, well, this has been mildly successful. I think I'm going to end the stream and see if I can post about this on the Zulip.